Man, so this election's been crazy. I mean, you've seen all kinds of craziness coming out. People getting into fights at rallies, the WikiLeaks emails coming out, the emails from the private server in the basement and all that. Whatever. What I've been dealing with a lot lately is if anything, been on Facebook for the most part, and the thing that gets me is black people supporting Hillary Clinton. And the reason why that bugs me for some reason, I don't know. It's like I'm like, do you know this woman at all? But that I don't know. Something just seems to escape people. And the thing is, not so much that they're with her, so much as they're against Trump because the media has this narrative that Trump's a racist, and that gets put out in a whole lot of different things, like the mainstream media, i.e., MSNBC, CNN. They have a serious track record for trying to steer your opinion, your opinion, to see things a certain way. Like this one time, there was a brother at a Trump rally who was sitting next to a white gentleman, and he's talking about how we need to get over this whole racist thing, how David Duke has nothing to do with Donald Trump, and I mean he can't really pick and choose who's going to support him, but right then MSNBC they cut him off and then went straight back to the narrative that most of Donald Trump supporters are not African American.
Was just out of the Trump campaign. I think we have the sound, and my team will have to tell me, where they spoke with some Trump supporters. Let's play what they said.
David Duke and people like that, they come out from under the rocks all the time around this time this year. It got nothing to do with Donald Trump. We all Americans. I think we need to stop with all the racist stuff and the race baiting. Like me and my friend right here, we just met today, we was talking. We got to stop with the racist stuff and this, that. We all Americans, man. And nobody paying David Duke no mind.
Clearly, let me just be clear here. Obviously, the majority of Donald Trump supporters are not African American. I don't know how many African Americans were in that building, but that is one person that we have chosen to cut that sound from, David.
I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point that CNN has a bias towards helping Hillary Clinton. If you haven't been paying attention, if you have been paying attention, watching MSNBC and CNN, I'd say watch Fox News, but CNN in particular, they're really bad about this. Like this one time that they cut off Breonna Keeler for, she was starting to talk about some of the negatives of what Hillary Clinton's got going on, and they just cut her satellite feed.
She based her comments on around today. And remember, Hillary Clinton has some vulnerabilities herself, even as she calls for criminal justice reform because of her support in the 1990s for anti-crime legislation that ultimately helped contribute to this era of mass incarceration that she now speaks out again.
We just lost Breonna Keeler, who was in Springfield, Illinois, where Hillary Clinton just spoke. You heard Hillary.
There was this other time that they cut off Congressman Collins because he was doing an interview with a couple of guys, and then as soon as he said something about WikiLeaks, which actually exposes some of the corruption in the DNC campaign, as far as some of the shady stuff that the Clintons been up to and the people surrounding that campaign have been up to, I mean, they straight cut off his satellite feed also.
Donald Trump needs to do to come out on top? Well, on the character issue, the public, 2/3 or more of the public knows that Hillary Clinton's a liar. She can't be trusted. And now the two faces of Hillary Clinton are coming out. The fact through WikiLeaks that she says one thing and...
Oh, no. All right, let's see if we can get Congressman Collins back. Obviously, we just lost his satellite feed.
All right, so, I mean... And then you get around to Don Lemon, who also works for CNN, and as soon as you start talking about Hillary Clinton, he'll talk over you, and he will straight say, "Hey, cut his mic off. Just cut him off. Cut him off." He'll just get rid of what you're talking about from as soon as you start talking bad about Hillary.
Stop. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. Can we stop that, please? It is not fair. It is not fair. It is a low blow. It is the yes. I want to end this. This is the lowest of the low, and it has nothing to do with Hillary Clinton. It is just a cheap shot. That can you please stop? Can we stop? Can we cut him off, please? Thank you. Can we end this? Thank you. We're done.
But people keep talking about how Trump's racist, and the media is obviously in the tank for Hillary Clinton. I mean, for anybody that's been paying attention, if you got two brain cells rubbed together, start a little fire, create a little friction, spark a thought, then, I mean, you can figure this stuff out in a pretty short period of time. But if you're saying that you can't mess with Trump because he's a racist, you need to pay attention to Hillary. Like, I don't know, there was that one time, like back in the day, where she was getting ready to go to this costume party and she was in blackface. And I know a lot of people I've talked to, they'll go on Snopes because Snopes is a reliable media source at this point. And they'll say, no, Snopes has, in all caps, false. That's not Hillary Clinton standing next to Bill Clinton as whatever woman in blackface. That's some other woman in blackface next to Bill Clinton. That's not Hillary Clinton. Okay, so fine. Maybe you want to hear these things out of her own mouth. I don't know. Maybe you want to, reference that time that she was praising high-ranking member of the KKK, Robert Byrd.
Today, our country has lost a true American original, my friend and mentor, Robert C. Byrd. Senator Byrd was a man of surpassing eloquence and nobility.
Maybe you want to look at that. I don't know, when I'm talking to people, I say something about her expressing her admiration for Margaret Sanger, a woman that kind of founded Planned Parenthood, and I believe she said something along the lines of colored people are like weeds that need to be exterminated. And then Hillary was praising her, and that seems like a pretty racist thing for somebody to say, but if somebody's praising someone like that, then what does that really say about their character? So you tell me.
I admire Margaret Sanger enormously. Her courage, her tenacity, her vision.
And then there was this one time that Hillary went to a black church, and she was using this corny, fake country accent, quoting, I forget who that was. Forget it. But she was using this accent, kind of pandering to black people, and it just happened to be at a black church on Martin Luther King Day. And she's using this accent to get everybody all fired up. It was ridiculous. Here, check it out.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
All right, and then another condescending moment in Hillary Clinton's personal life that was caught on camera was that one time that she had snapped off on a Black Lives Matter supporter saying, quote, "Fine then, I'll only talk to white people." Being kind of condescending about that, but you call it for yourself.
It has always been a wet problem of violence.
Well, if that is,
conversation.
I understand what you're saying.
Also respectfully.
Yeah. Well, respectfully, if that is your position, then I will talk only to white people about how we are going to deal with the very real problems.
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean.
Then there was this thing back in 1964. Apparently, there was a guy by the name of Goldwater who was opposing the civil rights movement, and Hillary just happened to be one of his main supporters. She was a Goldwater girl, and she was really proud about that.
On the eve of the convention, 40,000 people, half of them Negroes, demonstrate against Goldwater in the largest civil rights demonstration since the March on Washington last summer.
I am compelled to urge Negroes and all people of goodwill to vote against him. His election would be a tragedy and certainly suicidal almost for the nation and the world.
Did you ever, back in the 60s, between when I believe you were a Goldwater girl and
That's right.
whatever you became politically?
That's right. And I feel like my political beliefs are rooted in the conservatism that I was raised with. I'm very proud that I was a Goldwater girl.
I was a Goldwater girl.
I mean, really, we used to wear, little banners which said Goldwater Girl.
Yeah. And then, so there's this other time that Hillary was on stage giving a talk somewhere or another. There was a student that wasn't speaking English. They misinterpreted. Actually, the student was asking about how Hillary interpreted what Barack Obama was feeling about a certain topic. But Hillary, what the translator said to Hillary was, how does your husband feel about this? So, and she didn't really like that. So she got a little snappy with the poor student. So here, check this out.
Clinton think through the mouth of Mrs. Clinton? And what does Mr. Mutombo think on this situation? Thank you very much.
Wait, you want me to tell you what my husband thinks? My husband is not the Secretary of State. I am. So you ask my opinion, I will tell you my opinion. I'm not going to be channeling my husband.
Or there's that one time that she referred to black men, young black men, in gangs as super predators. There was that.
Take these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
Or that was that time on the Breakfast Club where she sat down next to Charlemagne the God and told them, yeah, something that I carry on my person every day is hot sauce.
What's something that you always carry with you? Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information right now? Hot sauce. Hot sauce in my bag, Swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay. Is it working? All right, so what do you...
So, I mean, that's just a few instances of Hillary being kind of racist or coming off a little condescending towards people of color. But, yeah, so, I don't know. In conclusion, I guess I'd say if you can't mess with Donald Trump because he's racist, then you probably gonna be voting third party or not voting at all. Because, yeah, Hillary kind of racist too. Just saying. I'm gonna let you call it.